All right, guys, welcome back to YoSpill. Hope you guys are having a wonderful day. And today's video is going to be all about our 1987 CSX. So if you go back on the channel, you can see the build process of the 2.4 hybrid 420A engine swap that we were putting in our 87 CSX. For the last couple of months, the motor and the car itself has been in Michigan, getting a complete new harness from the taillights to the headlights and the whole engine harness redone. If you guys go back in the videos when I was working on the neon tune, you see I mentioned a person, Stephen Morris. It's the guy that helps me with the Turbo Dodge tuning. He's the guy that actually tuned the Spirit RT when it made 400 wheel horsepower. And we are at his shop today, and then we are going to let him explain everything he's done to the harness, to the car, and basically show you the micro squirt, completely custom harness, and everything that's been involved with making the CSX probably the most horsepower car we have on the channel.
Let's hear it for this. I go for it, walk to the store, goes in, be right down the road.
All right, guys, so if this is your first time tuning into YoSpill, this is our 1987 CSX. Under the hood, it has a 2.4 liter with a 420A head. It is a built short block, 10-to-1 compression. It has a set of Crowler Stage 2 turbo cams, custom manifold, a Borg-Warner S363. Upper manifold is a Extreme Fabrications upper unit with a stock 420A lower unit. Custom fuel setup. It is running a 555 transmission with a OBX LSD that was built by Pap. You guys have seen a video on him as well. He does all of our transmission builds. And then here is Steven. He is the one that does the wiring and the mega squirts on these cars. Specifically, this car, it is a micro squirt, as I said earlier in the video, but does mega squirt wiring as well. He built the board, the relay unit, and everything. So I'll actually let him explain everything he's done to the car, because he's basically rewired everything.
Yep, I've wired everything, so when they dropped it off, and all the factory wiring was all crusty and corroded and whatnot, because 80s. So I stripped everything, all the stock electronics, I stripped it all out, started fresh, built the engine harness from scratch also, after I built that relay board that Mike just showed you inside the car. I went with a Volkswagen coil pack, because they're pretty universal and they're cheap. It has an internal igniter, so you don't have to worry about having an external igniter if you try to run like the stock 428 coil. Then I just made some nice big grounds. I made it out of 0/1 gauge. I think it's like some sort of welding wire for like welding stuff. So it's like high current. So I used that.
All new headlight harness.
Yep. Headlight harness is all new now. Basically every wire on the car is all new.
Then we have a breaker right here, just in case anything shorts out. And if you guys notice on our old video, we used to have the distributor here with the adapter piece. And of course, now that we have a standalone, we don't need that. And then we can go inside and you can see, well, he can explain everything that's in here, because I actually don't even know what half this stuff is. So this is voltage regulator?
Yeah, it's the voltage regulator for the factory alternator that's mounted on the engine.
And then this is
that's the main relay that powers that fuse box that powers everything that's on the engine side of the harness.
3-bar map sensor off the vacuum off the motor.
Yep.
And then Mac valve to control boost.
Yep.
Micro squirt.
Micro squirt right there.
And then a fuse box down here.
Yep, that's the chassis harness fuse box right there. And then I got all the relays there for the headlights, stuff like that. And it has a main relay too, so that also has a main relay.
And then there's the wiring to run over to the cluster.
Yep.
And the dash will be going back in the car. It will have a full electronic screen,
yep,
so that we can tune off of the dash itself, kind of like a fuel tech system. And then back here, as you see, all of the harness is brand new. Like I said, Steven has taken his time and made sure everything is meticulously done, and it looks amazing. And then this is the coolest part so far to me personally, is it has like a motorbike third brake light, because if you know these Turbo Dodges, these things always crack and they aren't that great, and the light bulb burns out or whatever. So he custom built us a little motorcycle third brake. All right, so as you can tell, Steven does a lot of awesome things with turbo Dodges, and just like him, his father does as well. So this is a body in white neon. So basically, this is the car before anything is done to it at the factory. It's kind of the way they roll it in before they paint it or anything. You can see this coating on it. The car is basically brand new. It's literally the car before they build it. It comes with a bumper, back and front bumper, and then literally just a chassis. You can order these or you could have ordered these from Mopar, and they were approximately $2,000, and you could have went to the dealership yourself, or not the dealership, but the factory yourself, and picked one up. The car literally has no door handles or nothing. It has these little clips, which Steven was showing me, which is awesome. And you can see how light a factory neon door is. And you can see there's literally nothing in this car. So this thing is, to me, the coolest thing in the shop. But he also has a LeBaron GTC 8-valve with a 2-piece intake manifold, a few little things done to it, and then, of course, his dad's SRT that was a daily driver. This is a Stage 3 car. Back in 2008, went 11s pretty easily and was daily driven. And as you can see how immaculate this car is, like I said, cool turbo Dodge stuff, something that you probably never see, and probably the cleanest SRT4 in Michigan. So guys, this is one thing you will probably never believe about this car, but this is a 21,000 original mile SRT, and literally, it's brand new. It even smells like SRT4 before they smell like crayons, because that's what all SRT4s end up smelling like, or broken transmissions, one of the two. But this thing is immaculate, and sits next to its 8-valve and the CSX, and then the body in white. All right, guys, so now we have the hood open. This thing is a Stage 3 with toys, and it has a couple of little modifications that some of the SRT4 guys might notice, but those of you that don't pay attention to SRT4s like that will not notice. This little plate right here that goes in front of the radiator to basically direct the air into it so you get better cooling was a custom built unit by his dad. This is a plastic PTGT valve cover. The heat shield was made back in 2007 and when the car was in production. This car went 11.5 on pump gas, and then of course 11.2 on race gas. And the motor mounts right here look like, you know, the standard motor mounts, but these things were made back before they were even made, and of course custom built as well. So this is, like I said, probably the most immaculate SRT4 in the North in general, because it literally is garage kept, 11-second car, and you can even see the clear markers that were replaced back in the day. It still has the original tires right there, as you can see, and they still have good tread on them. So this is, like I said, probably the most immaculate SRT4 I've ever seen. All right, guys, so now we are in the 3D printed workspace downstairs, and Steven is going to basically explain everything on the dash because he had already wired all this up, and he knows a lot more about what he's talking about than I do. I just go with what he says. So the cluster itself is a...
The cluster is a 12.3-inch screen off Amazon, and I have that being drove by the Raspberry Pi 4, which is going to be running Tuner Studio. So then you could tune and do everything from this setup. You don't even need a laptop to tune the car, and it'll have gauges and whatnot and GPS speed. And then I have the switch panel here. The main power switch on, and then you can have like accessories and whatnot.
Fuel accessories.
Yeah, exactly. And it's all killed by this, so you have
a main power switch for the car.
Switch, exactly, and then you get your starter button.
And then this is going to be turn signals.
Turn signal, then running lights.
And then accessories for running lights and everything else. So the factory turn signal or headlight switch over there won't be needed anymore.
Nope.
And then these USBs will be extra or charging or anything.
Charge your phone,
and then he custom built this bezel with his 3D printer, and he custom built this bezel with his 3D printer as well to hold the screen in place. And then literally it's all like, pick it up, mil-spec wired. So the connectors are very fancy and everything's wired. And then this makes it a little chipboard so that we can have the car turned off but still have the screen on. So if we want to play Mario Kart or anything while we're at the track board in the staging lanes, we can literally play videos, Mario Kart. We can kind of do anything we want with the screen, just like a Android style tablet.
Yep.
And yeah, this is the cluster slash dash for the CSX, and here's the bezel, 437, and then there's the centerpiece, which we'll have to cut this out so that it fits all over that. But the plan is for it all to fit, look OEM, and then have a custom, digital dash, and be able to do tuning and everything without even needing a computer. We don't even need a laptop. We can literally just sit there. And then he also said that he made sure that the glove box and everything fits, so that if you look inside the car from outside, you really won't even notice that there's a full custom micro squirt and everything underneath it. So that'll be it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and hope you guys are ready for this CSX. Hopefully it will make 6, 7, 800 wheel. Like I said, it's a 10-to-1 with the S363. So we'll turn it up on the dyno and see what it does. And hit the subscribe button for Yoast Build if you want to see more content for Turbo Dodges, and share it with your friends. Until then, you guys are the greatest.